Hello everybody, Daniel here, One Love Caravan again. I just make a little update in English that people can understand where we are in now. One Love Caravan, still in Spain, in Europe, yeah, in Malaga. Um, and we have to dive deeper into history and into let's say spirituality, yeah, prophecy, and science, yeah, because it's only education actually that can take us out of this mess. Because if you do not understand what is the problem, you can also not solve it. Um, and we have a big lack here, I see, in Europe of organizing, on gather together, let's say, and organize, centralize is a lack of studying, yeah, and so anyhow, we don't want to be here, but we're still trapped here, and I don't see um, that we soon gonna get out of here. So I think this winter we still be here, yeah, and it's gonna be cold. It's maybe it's gonna be have some energy problems, yeah, because during the war situation we are in, it means there can be power cuts and there can be natural phenomena, yeah. Again, anytime here in the Peninsula Iberica, there can come earthquake because it's a seismic area. And yeah, we're living in a time of tribulation, and actually, the earthquake must come somehow. Yeah? Again, Europe, it's like now it's like one big concentration camp. Yeah, and that's why they flooded everyone. Yeah, like they flooded Europe with everyone from all over the world, mostly from war zones. Yeah, and I grew up in Switzerland. Yeah, then with 19 I left Switzerland, and my father is from Portugal. Yeah, so I left. I went living in Portugal. Yeah, and in fact, Portugal again has a very interesting history, and the whole peninsula Iberica, Ibo, Hebraica, and all this is very important because again I'm part, let's say, Swiss, part Portuguese, they would say. But Swiss, this name is coming from, let's say, the Suevos, the Sweats, the Sweats. This was the Celtic tribes, yeah? Like Helvetia, Switzerland, it's called actually Confederación Helvetica. That's why the CH, yeah? And this, again, this is um, Helvetia. It's come actually the name is coming from Helveti. It's also Celtic tribes. And again, Celtic are Cushitic people, and that would mean Celtics are Amazigh. Okay, they are the Berbers, the Celtics. Okay, and so indigenous people of here, of the Mediterranean, of the Peninsula Iberica. Okay. So that's why we support again the Biafran struggle, and because I have many links, yeah, you see, with Biafra, you see. I by myself I made again I have designed this flag is for the Algarve. Again, Algarve is now the south of Portugal, but this was once the, let's say, the west Al-Harb Al-Andalus. This was the west of Andalusia, of Al-Andalus, during the Moorish Empire. So the Moors, yeah, also know the Black Moors, yeah. So they would come again from Africa. So who called the Moors? The Moors were like the Visigothic kings, yeah, the King Roderick, for example, other Visigothic people, and they were actually Christians, okay? So Orthodox Christians, or also maybe some were also in contact with other groups, but they were Christians, okay? and there were conflicts. So the Christian kings here, Visigoth kings, they called the Moors. They called Tariq. Tariq was like a general of troops. So and he came to Gibraltar. That's why Gibraltar, it's actually coming from Jebel al Tariq, means the stone of Tariq. Okay, so it means it's very important history. Very important. So we have to dive deeper into this because I have designed this flag for the Algarve because the Algarve was always separated. Like it was Al Andalus, and then again Andalusia. It's coming from Vandalia. Vandalia, because the Vandals. It's also Germanic tribes, but also African Germanic tribes. Very interesting, and you have also here you have the for example the Phoenicians. Again, the Phoenicians were one of the first here after the flood. Yeah, because there was a flood. It means the ice age would melt, like would come to the end. And during centuries, there was actually in this area only water, because before there was all ice. Yeah, and so there's rivers, because there are many rivers here in the Peninsula Iberica or in Europe in general. If you see the Mediterranean Sea, the Mediterranean, yeah, it got flood. Like before, there was only river, and this river is actually the River Nile. Yeah, this was the River Nile. Come from Ethiopia, comes out there in Alexandria, and it goes out where? Yeah, to the Straits of Gibraltar, because every river has to go to the sea, right? But the Mediterranean Sea, it came because the sea level rose, and this is this flood, this biblical flood, right? So that means, in fact, we have the glaciers and all this when they melt, yeah, and it was all water. So there is this Atlantis thing. It's coming like this idea that Atlantis was water, a water city, or sky city, then water city, or ice, also. So yeah, from the Egyptian mythology we know that Atlantis was founded by Thoth. Okay, but we have Atlantis, like the building of Atlantis, and then we have actually the fall of Atlantis also, and we have in North Africa and Morocco the mountains, and even Gibraltar. It belongs to the mountain group called Atlas. Okay, and that's why we have let's say we have this very important civilization called Tartessos. Yeah, this for example Tartessos. They found many. Here you see, yeah, just investigate Tartessos, and you see where they were in the Peninsula Iberica, and also there where you go out of the Pillars of Hercules, which is Tanger, Gibraltar, this area, and then you go to the sea, the Atlantic Ocean, which was actually the Ethiopic Ocean. So in fact, there was a big civilization, yeah, during the time again of King Solomon, and these times, King David, King Solomon, there was also these kings here. So this is why Peninsula Iberica, yeah, the tribe in Biafra called Igbo, yeah, these Hebrews, the biblical original Hebrews. We have the Peninsula Iberica. We have Iberia also in the Caucasus. This was the kingdom of Iberia. This was Albania also. There was many things, very important. We have the Caucasus there. We have Armenia, so and Shemitic. Then you have Azerbaijan. It's Turkish, like from ethnic group Turk. And then you have Georgia, which is actually Caucasian, let's say Caucasian, white Caucasian, Kartvelian, or however you want to say that. But it says three ethnic groups there together, and then you have the big mountains, the Caucasus Mountains, very important. Then below there they have like today Turkey, and then the river Tigris and Euphrates is very important. There was a kingdom of Iberia, and we have here also the Iberian Peninsula, and we have very important like artifacts here were found, like from ancient so stone reliefs and in this area, and they don't talk you so much about this. Yeah, it's like these Moz Arabs, you know, the Moz Arab is like the Christians in the during the at the time of Al Andalus. They were Christians here, and this is a place, for example, at the time it must have looked like here. This is in a place called El Chorro, here in Malaga. Um, there was a place called, it's still there, Bobastro, called Bobastro. And the Bobastro, it means this is a megalithic thing and a very important site. Very important for the Christians here. And there was a rebellion going on with a man called Omar Ben Hafsun. So there was born as a Muslim here. They say there's also here, he was Gothic, yeah? And then again from the Gothic kings, because Gothic, this was before the, again, Germans was the is indigenous here also, because the Gothic, the Visigoths, they were here, yeah. The Celtics were here. The German come out of the Celtic. It's all one, okay. So this man, yeah, they say that they are exactly from Gothic, like from German Gothic, Kuti al Kuti, Kati family, and then when the Moorish Empire was, and that his grandfather or whatever they converted to Islam. That's why he called Omar Ben Hafsun. So, or Omar ibn Hafsun means Omar, the son of Hafsun, or then also Omar Ben Hafsun. That would be in Jewish, in Hebrew, Ben Hafsun. So Omar, the son of Hafsun. Then he converted back to Christianity, and he changed his name to Samuel. Okay, so Shmuel or Samuel Ben Hafsun. He was the rebel pour excellence, and they also would say that he was. They would say that he was a muladi. It means he was half caste. Yeah, it would mean that his father was a black African, and but they would also say that he was Gothic. He was a Kuti, because there is this story that it has to do with Ben Hafsun and other people like from Gothic or from German descent and going to Africa, like the Vandals, like what is with like again the Vikings, yeah, being Germanic but also being out. It's very interesting because they were seafaring people as well, or nomads or whatever. There is also the story from Leo Africanus, yeah? And then the Medici, and all this very interesting story. These people, they used to go to Timbuktu, yeah, because you must know nowadays we have this thing, digital technology, and this now we have everything stored in the microchip. But in the past, it was more difficult to store information. Like the people that would paint on the walls, like we have here the hieroglyphs of the modern days, and we had at the time the wall paintings still visible. Yeah, some wall paintings from here in Europe, 30,000 years, it's still visible. There is carvings. It's from wow, you know, it cannot destroy so easy if it's carved in the stone, right? But if you have a paper, it can easily with the humidity and all these things. So it's not so easy in tropical areas to store information on paper. That's why actually people, I would say, in Biafra, yeah, or other around the equator, that they didn't have so much paper than in other more dry areas. So they choose also like special places to store information, like scrolls and all these things, papyrus. And like Timbuktu is one of these places where all the information got stored, and there you have many information about Gothic. There were like the Gothic scriptures there, you know, and Gothic people, yeah. But how does it called? Yeah, people who would study, yeah, and they would also enter in the Songhai culture and all these things. Very interesting. So we have also again we have the Tartessos, the Phoenicians, we have Carthago. We have the god of the Phoenicians, they would call the Melkart. Yeah, Melkart. I think I have even here. Um, say, anyhow, Melkart was the god of the Phoenicians. Then you have Melchizedek. Yeah, you have Melchizedek. You know Melchizedek. It is the yeah Melech. Yeah, Zedek. So it's the king of righteousness. Yeah, and you have Melkart, the god there from the Phoenicians, and from the Carthagins, from Carthago as well. And they say Hannibal, his god was Melkart. Yeah, Hannibal, you know, he fought against the Roman Empire. Hannibal, actually, he was on the Iberian Peninsula, also, because they used to go to from nowadays Tunisia or these places, Carthago, to nowadays Spain and these places, and to go to attack Rome. And very, very interesting links. And then again, the Piraeus lion, I can also, I have other videos talking about this, but we have to go deeper into this. This Piraeus lion is very important for the Vikings, because the Vikings, again, the guards, the bodyguards of the Byzantine emperor, Christian emperor, were the Vanegards, I think, or something like that. They were um, the the Vikings. Yeah, the Vikings were the bodyguards of the Byzantine king. And that means they were the Romans that stole this tradition. That's why the Swiss guards. The Swiss guards is nowadays the guards of the Pope. But in that fact, there was the real Swedes, again, the Suevi, the Suevos, the Swedes. It was the tribes, like Celtic tribes, yeah, German, Celtic, however you want to call this, tribes, indigenous people, Amazigh, okay, where the Roman would call that they're barbars, whatever. The Roman, the Swedes, they would go from nowadays Central Europe, because they were persecuted. Also, they would go to the north of the peninsula, and down to nowadays Galicia and this place. They were the Suevos, the Swedes, and but then the Reconquista, they went after them. So they conspired with other kings there, and they went. The first Reconquista, the first Inquisition, it started in the north against indigenous people there, you know, like Swedes and other people. And then they come down to go against Al-Andalus. And very important history. But during this time, again, from the Byzantine Empire, you have the Piraeus lion, who came actually from a island, Greek, like this area. And Piraeus, but they took it, Puerto Leone would call that. They took it and they take it to Venice. Yeah, very important. It has runes, Viking runes, inscriptions on the lion. And again, the lion. You have the lion. You have a lot the lion, the symbol of the lion of the Iberian Peninsula. In fact, that's why you have it. For example, the royalty in Europe, they have the lion as a symbol. Yeah, and I can remember Leo Lion Zagami. If someone remembers still this man, Leo Lion Zagami. In fact, and again, Leo Africanos, yeah, the Medici, Leo, and today you have the Pope, also called Leo, and you have the lion, you have Castilla Leon, you have Spanish, actually called the language called Castellano, yeah, and Castilla, it was a kingdom, and Leon was a kingdom, and they united. There was Castilla Leon, and all this. There was the kingdom of Asturias, kingdom of Navarra, kingdom Aragon, kingdom. But then you have in the royalty, the symbol still remains everywhere as the lion. Okay, the lion. You had lions here. It's called the Atlas lion. As the bear as well. You had in the north of Africa, in Morocco or Algeria, you had a bear called Atlas bear. But it was the Romans actually. They brought so many beasts from North Africa, like elephants, and bears, leopards, and lions. So there was the Atlas lion in today Maghreb, and even here in the Peninsula Iberica, lions and bears, but they're extinguished. Okay, so very, very interesting the history here, and we will step by step show you more more very interesting facts about this place here, because actually again the Peninsula Iberica should be a paradise and not a abomination what it is today, because actually nowadays it is worse than ever. Yeah, it's full of rubbish everywhere, and so don't let them fool you or even try to school you, you know, because the how is it? The stone that the builder refused gonna be the head cornerstone. You see? And again, Biafra, it's on the rise. You know, no one can stop that. That's what I support, Biafra, because this is the real stuff. And again, free Mazin Amdekanu, okay, free Simon Ekpa, and just to once, it's very interesting because you start investigating things, and very interesting. So here, because they opened in Malaga, the indigenous people of Biafra station. So we went there. The flyer is from there, and you have the picture here. And you have here, you see, there was a one individual called Bruce Mayrock who burned himself. He burned himself at the time of the Biafran War, because as a protest. Yeah, like there is Buddhist monks who burn themselves. There's other people who burn themselves as a protest. Yeah, so he did the same because he was of Jewish descent, but he was like a white American, United States American, Jewish, and he could not stand this, that no one would listen to him and to the people in Biafra who being slaughtered, because there was genocide in the 60s. Yeah. While you have, again, you had already the state of Israel, you have already, again, you have human rights declaration and all this, but then they would slaughter people and no one would do anything, so this man would burn himself. But then there is another picture of another man. So there is actually saying Bruce Mayrock, and then there's a picture of this man. But this man is not Bruce Mayrock at all. So this is why, okay, that's very interesting. So who is this man? Yeah, this man is actually a man called Josh Whiteskin. And Josh Whiteskin is actually, he was chess master, and he was world champion, and also Qigong world champion. So he's a martial artist, and he's a chess player who wrote books, like I think one book called The Art of Learning and Living. Very interesting. And again, you have Bruce Mayrock, who's someone who burned himself. He was in the first world, he had everything, but he burned himself. Okay? And there is, you see, there is the children who die. They die from hunger, okay? Because they, even if this Biafra land is so fertile, but if you don't let the people grow their food, like they do here, they do forbid you, okay, to be self-sufficient. That's why we could not continue. The police would attack us there. I got detained 3 times completely illegally, okay? But thanks God, we have all the evidence and everything. So we have everything. So I know who are the people who and why they go after the ones who tell the truth, yeah? Because everything is being exposed now, yeah? So that's why they want to get rid of Ibrahim Traoré. They could not do it. So now what they're going to do, they like this. But it means when it comes really like to war-like scenario or catastrophic scenario, then we have at least, let's say, then it's the last chance to unite, you know, and to fight and to help for our right and to help each other. Because at the time now I don't see so much hope here in so-called Europe, because of the mind state of the people, and this is also because of a massive, let's say, mind control, yeah, and then it's attack through technology. Because again, you remember 5G, yeah, you remember, actually this is all illegal. All these scientists and all this, they already sent to Guterres, the United Nations, and all these papers asking, please, this is illegal, this is not proven. It's like the COVID vaccine, it's the same. So see, there's illegal stuff going on, crimes. So these crimes we have to show, because we have to prove. Again, the truth will prevail anyhow. There is good over evil, yes. And so here we go. A luta continua, a vittoria ta certa. Thank you very much for watching this video. Sorry, and like and share, and yes, a luta continua. Thank you, Frimas in Amdicano, and Simon Ekpa, Ja Rastafari, and blessed love here out of Malak. Adieu.